Okay, so let's just do what we were going to do before and get rid of the webcam. If my internet connection improves, then I will... Oh, I forgot Frontline cam was even on the roam. if my internet connection improves, then I'm going to be able to do... Okay, I completely lost my train of thought because like my Twitch stream like interrupted my talking. So I basically interrupted myself because I didn't mute my Twitch stream. So yeah, chilling now. Yeah, kind of. Oh wait, we completely did not grab like any materials at the moment. I need materials. Cause yeah, I was originally going. I can probably turn off my light. Um, my original plan for this whole entire thing was just 30 minutes. I was going to be all like, "Oh, hey guys, like I'm testing like the audio and being all like, hey, is everything good? Is everything all right?" And then turns out everything was not all right. Literally everything failed, and I mean, unlike some of my other streams, people actually were watching, which is maybe I shouldn't have announced it. I really don't have like any foresight on whether that was a good thing or not. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I should have just made sure that everything was working beforehand. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and give you guys a preview of what is to come here in the next thing. Is this my first time on Twitch? Cloutos asks, and to that I say, not really. It's my first time streaming high quality content on Twitch because my first ever stream on Twitch, and my first ever stream in general, actually, like I streamed a little bit on YouTube after I did Twitch, but I've come back to Twitch again. I did what was called, I called that video Minecraft Bedrock Redstone Maze. And if you've seen or played my Adventure Map Aztec Labs, you might understand what that means. It's a concept in which I create like a changing, well, not really a changing maze, but a maze in which you have to go through various puzzles to get through it with like pulling levers, and you have to fight mobs and stuff throughout. So it was a fun little stream, but inside of the actual stream area, the one you're seeing right now, I did not have chat on the side. I did not have a webcam. It was very basic, very simple kind of a process that I had. So, I mean, this was my first time experimenting with this whole entire thing, and it kind of didn't turn out well. I could try using OBS. I am not actually using that right now. You may be thinking that, of course, I would be using OBS, but I, like a complete noob and kind of the basic person I am, that I'm all like, okay, I know this works for recording videos, so I'm almost certain it'll work for streaming them. I ended up using my Elgato software. The Elgato software is not great. It's not bad either. I really like its video quality for when I'm recording, but it seems as though I'm just not really able to use it that well for my streams. So yeah, let's head over to the gaming district anyway. Let's just try and put a lot of this behind us, hopefully, and make sure that the audio quality stays consistent throughout and that we don't have any like bugs or shortages that happen through this whole entire thing. I'm on PC right now. Well, I'm playing on the Xbox. You can see it's like I'm on Xbox. I basically have to play through my PC because I don't actually have my Xbox hooked up to my TV. I use my Elgato game capture thing, and I run it through. Because it's the 60S, I can see a video preview through the Elgato software. So it's pretty nice. Whew, man. Anyway. No icons for A and B and triggers. Yeah, I turned those off I mean, you should probably know that from my videos. It's like, I think the only time I had the little like settings thing in which I had the video, where was the setting? Was it in controller, I guess? It's hide controller hints. Yeah. It's like I think the only video I didn't have hide controller hints is when I created my first video, although I don't know that. I don't know that for certain. I might have not had it for my first video on Craft Away. But yeah, I know that my first video on Minecraft ever, it did have the icons for like the A/B triggers and all that kinds of stuff. But I quickly changed. I quickly was all like, oh man, this is like taking up way too much space on my screen. I want everything at the bottom hotbar thing to be as small as it can possibly be. So yeah, I ended up making it cool. Alright, so here we are in the gaming district. Pretty awesome. I still want to create a path that leads through here. Well, I gotta do a lot in the gaming district, if I'm being completely honest. Hopefully the streams will help me at least accomplish some of the stuff that I might not do on my own otherwise. So if we head on this way, oh man, I really want to play this game. I also haven't seen the video in which this game was created. I'm so behind on everybody's videos. But yes, that is something that Sunfire has created and something I want to go on. But first, well, in future streams, but I guess I can start in this stream. We need to replace this mycelium with grass. And we do have some dirt and we do have some grass. Although now that I think about it, we probably don't actually have that much. Is anybody on right now? Yeah, and you also haven't seen the video either of like the concrete machine. Anybody else? Nope. It's just me, allies all around. Oh, I never did my intro in the first place, did I? I think I was distracted. So welcome my allies from all around. This is Frontline. They were going to be failing a stream. And let's go ahead and just kind of start this thing. So yeah, it's pretty good here. I feel like I should grab some grass and be able to actually make this thing not like spread terribly. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I feel like it's the internet connection. I feel like it's not my streaming software in some ways. In some ways it is, but you saw there that there was like a giant lag spike in which it took a while for that to go ahead and work. So, I mean, I could consider it not to be my fault, but I mean, I don't know. It probably isn't my fault. It's just I'm inexperienced with this thing. So here we go. You know, the funny thing about like doing this like grass replacement stuff and all this kind of thing is that it just reminds me of like not just for like the content, but just like with association. For some reason, it just makes me think of like Grumpy Owl's like home series, because I used to always like when I was like doing this like terraforming all that, I would have on like my second screen, I would be watching like various episodes of Home. And yeah, I don't know why I'm sharing that now, but it's like it's just something that like came to my mind. It's like, huh, it's like it's weird how we have those like Pavlovian responses where it's like I just am expecting to hear like that like subtle and calm music in the background to soothe all the stress that's come from this whole entire mess that is this stream. So yeah, it's a little sad that there's not the face cam in the corner, but it's all right. It's all right. Every little thing is gonna be all right. 3 little birds saying that to me. Alright, so how's everyone's night tonight? I mean, I know that there's only one person in chat, but I mean, how's everybody's night going? You know, just everybody been relaxing and chilling and being able to just not stress. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah. I haven't streamed in a long time, man. I haven't streamed in a long time. I feel like tomorrow I'm actually going to have a lot more to say. Just clip. I mean, technically, I mean, I'm also kind of conflicted. It's like I kind of like changed my settings so that it's like people wouldn't be able to post links, but or I could block links, but I could make you an admin, maybe, so that I know that only you will be able to post links. There you go. Now you're a mod. I think that's a good compromise, so that not everyone's just able to like post links and weird stuff, you know. But yes, it's nighttime. Now we can actually like really like do this whole entire thing. Of your intro. I never did my intro. Oh yeah. Oh, I kind of want to rewatch that right now. But oh, why am I using grass? I don't need to use grass. I can use dirt because it is nighttime and it won't spread or anything, and all that will be awesome. Oh, wait. Oh, drowned, of course. Let's go ahead and get to a safe location up here by the mushrooms. Watch it real. I know I am. I'm trying. I was also kind of getting attacked here, Cloutos, but oh, I love that. Is this from Twitch? Clips.twitch.tv. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't really save as highlight. Can I do that? Save as highlight. Create. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to do it later. It's just a few seconds. Yeah, it's like 5 seconds. If I could have it as a highlight, that'd be great. Because honestly, that probably is like one of the highlights of this stream, if it could be described as that. Just go ahead and be able to get this whole entire ball rolling, and I keep falling. Let's keep this ball falling, and yeah. I'm also, I think I'll keep the stone. I'm not sure. It's like a lot of the stuff with the terraforming, I'm half unsure if I should try and preserve the land as much as I can, or if I should be able to like make it a little bit more betterer. But the problem is, if I try and make it betterer, I have to like, well, I don't have to, but I probably would want to do it all the way to sea level, and sea level goes really deep around here. I mean, look at this. It's like I'm at like y equals like 37, and also I'm getting pretty hurt. Well, I got pretty hurt by that trident, man. Like, already cut me down that much. Might be cool to have some cliffs on the edges. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I might like work out the cliffs a little bit more, make them more unique. but at the moment I just am uncertain as to what exactly the place should be. Because half of me is like, oh, I can do a lot here, and half of me is like, oh, if I do a lot here, man, is that going to take a lot of time. There's always that balance that you have to keep in mind when it comes down to that. But what? Is this naturally generated, or did I dig this out? I can't tell because it looks so real, and it can't have been a place where I just dug out some like dirt. Like, I mean, it's literally like 1 to 2 blocks wide. Yep, let's just cover that up for now and continue on. But anyway, I actually got interrupted by 2 trains of thought there. So the main one I was going to say was that like I'm actually going to probably have a lot more to say in my next stream. Let's blame Suncorp. I mean, that's what we always like should do anyway. So I mean, yeah. Even though that like his builds over there, it's like over here just like correlates somehow. I keep getting distracted, so I'm going in the next video have a lot more to say, and that's because I'm actually going to be heading out to a film festival, and it's the first time I will have ever gone to a film festival. I really enjoy making films. I like haven't done too much on my channel, or at least not too much that's like considered real videography. I've done some stuff that can be considered pseudo videography, but like a lot of my videos are mostly just Halo machinimas and me in front of a camera ranting on about random things. So like I'm hoping that like that will at least give me a little bit more inspiration. I have a lot of script ideas. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I have my channel schedule as I do right now, that every Friday, or every other Friday, sorry, I can't do every Friday. Every other Friday, I'm planning on having some kind of a skit thing. Well, seems as though there's another hole here, so I don't know. I don't know. There's going to be some kind of like a short film or whatever that I have scripted content for. I have 3 scripts I have printed already. My headphones just gave out. It doesn't matter. I don't need to hear anything. Oh, well, they just came back in. Suncorp. Again, it's the same place. Okay. Anyway, when it comes down to creating the content, hole number 2. When it comes down to the content, Friday, this coming Friday, not today, but 1 week from today, I theoretically should have a video out. I don't know because I haven't recorded it yet. It's really hard actually to be able to get a bunch of people together to record stuff, but I'm hoping that at least one of my projects people will be available for, and we'll see how that all works out. This night has been really long. But anyway, I had another train of thought that reached my mind, and that's that we haven't actually been doing a bunch of other tests. So one of them is to make sure that if I switch my scenes, that everything doesn't go haywire. So if I ever need to like leave the room or something, or I need to like mute my mic so that I can like drink some water or something, I can be all like, okay, do this screen. And boom, just like that, I was able to go ahead and drink some water, which is cool, awesome. I also really like the logo that is now on the stuff. The please screen mutes your microphone. Also, apparently, that was intentional. That was actually, believe it or not, intentional, because I went to that screen. I actually like clicked the thing that like changed my mic audio thing so that I would be able to drink some water. And that was awesome. It was more necessary to do that when I was doing my when I had like this 1 gallon jug. It was like very loud to drink from it. Like there was always like a guzzle, guzzle, guzzle noise that would like happen on the microphone. So I that was one of the reasons I actually did this thing. I know I'm making a lot of background noise, but that's because I'm like actually changing the batteries of my headset. And apparently I should have been doing that when I was muted, but yeah, this stream, like I said, isn't exactly the most organized thing in the world. So hopefully this thing is charged. Okay, it is. It was able to do that. My video description hasn't changed, right? Okay, yeah. I was worried that because the Elgato software is able to change my video description, that it would just get rid of like my description down below saying like my stream schedule and what my next stream plan is. Like if you want like a sneak preview of what I'm going to be doing that stream, it is right there. Going to be working on the gaming district, making progress on our base. Maybe, I don't know. It's mostly just like a guideline list. So it's more like what we have time for than anything. So yeah, I've got lots of stuff, lots of plans that we're able to do here. My please hold screen works. I don't know if you saw it, but at the beginning of streams, I'm actually just going to do it now because, I mean, my stream a long time ago was supposed to be like the actual start, but like if I do this screen here, it actually ends up like doing a whole entire like, oh, stream will begin this long, and that just allows me to like start streaming like 5 minutes before it's actually supposed to start streaming. And it just like allows me to be all like, okay, yes, you people are in fact in the right location, and that it will happen very shortly. So the stream has already begun, and we don't need to actually be on the screen any longer. So let's just from that, and yeah, here we go. I have no idea how to do that stuff. I kind of. I have an idea of how to do it with the Elgato system. If I moved to OBS, I don't know if I would know how to do it. But what's the oh hey? Like did like a animal pop up really close to my screen or something? Like I don't know. They seem to be like culminating around this area. I feel like this would be a really good place to get like a bunch of leather and a bunch of cooked steak, which, I mean, I think I went on a rant about that inside of like my episode where I was building like the Ghost Pirate Parlor, but I'm still really, oh, I gave you a follow. Oh, that's also another thing. I don't know how to like have it appear on screen that people are following me. If I knew how to do that, that'd be awesome. But yeah, maybe I could do something with Streamlabs. I'm almost certain that that would be something to maybe do that. I don't know. I'm also afraid that if I do too much of that stuff, that's going to lag out my game again. So yeah, I'll figure it out at some point. I'm sure that the streaming issues will, well, maybe some of them will like resolve themselves. Yeah, Streamlabs OBS. I'm wondering. Can Enderman come back here? I'll cover that. So I'm wondering if Streamlabs OBS. I feel like it should work with the Elgato. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. But I'm just like always afraid whenever I install those like new apps that's just like completely not going to work, and my system's just going to like completely like fall down, or like I'm going to like install the wrong version and it's just going to like infect a virus onto my computer. I don't know. I'm like very paranoid about that kind of stuff. I normally try to install the least amount of programs I have to on my computer. Like even when like some like programs and stuff like require me to like download something else, like hey, you need to like install like the super secure lock browser so we know you're not like cheating on your next test or something. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't want to download like a safe lock browser or whatever because I already have like Chrome. So yeah, I don't know. That was a giant rant. That was probably a way longer rant than it needed to be, but I'm good at that. Did I leave my? I did. Yeah, I think that is my shulker box all the way over there. I was going to like move over here to be able to like do some of my stuff over here, but yeah. Also, I think Streamlabs OBS is like still in beta, so I'm also like kind of like concerned about that. Like they openly say that it's like, oh, it's in beta, so that automatically makes me think, oh, that means that there's going to be a bunch of bugs in it, and normally beta means that it has a small chance of crashing your computer. That's just the nature of like being able to work with software. I really want to do a lot of projects. Like whenever I like think about some of this stuff, like I'm immediately when my mind went to software, I was like, oh, I just remembered my one idea to do like the series on learning Python, and I actually got some like interesting like idea for that series, like that it's not just like me going through and being all like, ooh, look, this is an object. I mean, like, I was going to go ahead and like actually be all like, okay, I'm going to create a 5-in-1 video game in which I would go ahead and let's pull up my plans. This is the reason I write down everything, because I can't remember everything that I want to do. So it's Frontline learns Python. There it is. Like I want to make a program that says like, oh, that has a user interface. It'll have like 5 games. Rock, paper, scissors. That one will be very simple a program. I already know that. Tic-tac-toe, maybe a little bit harder. If I use the numpad, it might not be too hard, because that's like the easiest way to gain user input. But maybe if I can have people click on various things, that might be easy. Hangman, we'll see how that works. It would only have like a limited amount of I completely lost my train of thought. So like Hangman, it would only have a limited amount of words that it could try, unless I wanted to really be mean and just have it like randomly generate like nonsense gibberish, but that would be unfair. That's not in the spirit of Hangman. Then there's Snake and Pong. Snake is going to be interesting because I actually don't know how to do that one. But yeah. I was afraid to do a card game because I have no idea how Python works. I think Python is an object-oriented programming language, meaning that I can just have like an array of cards, and I know how to make an array of cards and stuff. I mean, I know I'm like giving out jargon at the moment. I'm a computer scientist. I jargon all the time, but like it's just the matter that like I have no idea how Python works, so I have no idea how easy it would be to implement a lot of like the games that I want to create. So yeah, have a million Craftway projects to do. Kind of the same here. It's like I have a lot of like ideas. I feel like I am supposed to have a lot of ideas, but I'm almost certain that I haven't I haven't written down all of them, so I need to write them down more often whenever they come to my mind so I don't forget them so much. But yeah, used to program in Turbo Pascal 5.5 and 7 way back in the day. A card game wouldn't have been all that difficult. Do you mean Python? Or, oh, you don't know any Python. So Pascal is just apparently like a completely different language, I guess. Yeah. I've never heard of that one, actually. I've been trying to study a little bit more about some of the obscure programming languages, but oftentimes I don't really know them too well. So, yeah, it was around before C++. Wow, that really was back in the day. C++ is considered quite an old language now, although it is still useful, which is amazing how much it hasn't become obsolete over all these years, because it's literally the programming language that's like most useful for operating systems and all that kinds of stuff, like Windows and all that. I think is like all based off of C++ and that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, this project is a long time. It's a big one. I don't think I'm looking at this. I'm almost certain that I don't have enough dirt. I feel like if I was doing this without commentating, I would be a lot more efficient. Yeah, I think C++ was around in like the 1980s. And it wasn't until today that I realized why it was called C++. Like it's such a simple thing that I've been programming for like, I mean, I've been programming for real for about like a little over a year now. But I have also been programming for like, honestly, for like upwards to maybe 2 to 3 years. But at the same time, that was like on and off again, and it was in like game maker language, all that kind of stuff, like just creating video games. Um, it ended up being, I need grass blocks, not dirt blocks. Um, it ended up being this, like I learned that, to increment a value by 1, you add like a plus plus at the end of it. I mean, or at the beginning, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. um, like and C was the original language, but then they came out with C++, and it was just like today that it clicked, and I was all like, oh, wow, that is such a nerdy way to rename a second programming language, just to call it just like C, but like one extra, like just the extra of C. Just, I mean, seriously, it's just weird. Text-based RPG. Oh man, those I haven't been around to like see the days of like those kind of stuff, but I've always been like interested in that kind of stuff. But yeah, C plus, how logical, yeah. Was there actually a language called C plus? Like, I think there was only C plus plus. Nope, there is C plus. Okay, I was wondering. Although it also is called. Does the C. I'm looking it up. Does the C plus programming language exist? Okay, yeah, there isn't a C plus. There's just C plus plus. I think. Yes. Right? Yes and no. I'm getting mixed answers on Google. But no C plus. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for there to be a C plus because like C plus plus, it's like the plus plus is like incrementing a value like by 1, like an integer, and when I look at it, it's like I'm seeing like people saying that it's like no, like people who say that they know C plus are like having a typo on their resume. Others are like saying no, in that there is no C plus language that was inspired by C and C plus plus. The closest was that, and it's like eventually low level C, C minus minus. What? Why are there C? These guys? I mean, I'm also looking on Quora, so it's not like actually real. Like it's not actually coding forums. I don't think that there's a C plus because there's no actual like real sources that I'm looking at here that claim to say that C plus is a real thing. I'm only seeing like sources that say that C plus plus and C were real things. So yeah. So I was right in my original thought that it's like C plus plus is a really weird way to name the next iteration of a program, or a nerdy way, not a weird way, but just because you increment the value and it's like, oh, it's basically like saying like if you like created like a sequel to Python and called it like Python 2, like instead of doing that, you just like say, oh, it's like Python plus plus, just like whatever the original version was plus one. So that was an interesting tangent. Completely did not do like anything in Craftaway, but yeah. Good to see that one person is stuck around in the stream though, because yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff that happened there, and I was kind of afraid that everything would literally go haywire. Well, it did, but I was worried that everything would go more haywire than it did, and yeah. Oh, it was C sharp. Okay, yeah. Yeah, C sharp is a language that I'm trying to learn because it's actually what the Unity engine uses. I always say it weird, Unity. It's the Unity engine. I always say like Uni, like as though I like morph my word together to like not like pronounce the T as prominently, even though I really should like pronounce Unity better. But yeah, so. But yeah, C sharp. I think that actually came out after. Yeah, it did. It did come after C plus plus, because what C sharp was a was basically like Microsoft's comeback. I'm not saying that in like as though they were like out of the competition or like anything like that. I'm just saying that it was a comeback because before then, Sun Microsystems had created the Java programming language, a nice little object-oriented programming language that was originally made in C++ that was like, well, first of all, it was programmed in C++, and then it was programmed in Java. What is this? What am I even talking about anymore? Like, I didn't even like, I needed to like step back and like consider what in the world I was saying. Like, it makes sense to me, but I'm totally talking jargon at the moment. Like, I'm just going on a tangent about like how C and like C++ and all those like random languages were like coded in their own language, and all sorts of like interesting theories about how all that works, but I don't even know. So let's just you know what? I'll go ahead with the train of thought. As much as I think that it's a weird topic, and no one's going to be watching the stream, or at least no one's going to be re-watching the stream. I'm not 100% convinced I'm going to re-upload it. I probably will, but I don't know. There's a lot of technical issues at the beginning that might be hard to re-upload the stream. So, where was I? Oh my, this stream is coming to like a really weird disaster of like me forgetting what I was saying, remembering what I was saying, and then going off onto a tangent. So, okay. We were talking about how C# was a comeback to Java. Java was programmed in C++, but then it was programmed in Java because of weird stuff. Twitch will save your stream like we could. Yeah, I have learned about that. Because the first time I streamed, I did do some test streams, and I made sure that I was all like, okay, I gotta check this box to make sure that it saves the stream afterward, and I connected my YouTube channel so that it would be able to like automatically upload the videos for me. Well, not automatically, but if I press a button, it would upload the video for me. Yeah, but that kind of a thing. So The weird thing about programming languages, I'm just going to go on a lecture here. Apparently, is that they normally, like, to be a programming language, you have to write the programming language in that programming language. It's just weird. It's a weird concept to think about, that Java was written using the programming language Java, and that kind of a thing. So the reason I know that C# came after C++ is because Java was first written in C++, and C# was written after Java was made. So that was literally the only point of the story. And yeah, I went into a giant tangent about how programming languages like are formed, and how Sun Microsystems was able to create the Java programming language that was able to be a very, very compatible language with a lot of systems. If, in all honesty, like it is still a very nice universal language for people to be able to learn and manipulate if they need a system to work on most devices. Like because the compiler translates into bytecode, which most processors can handle, and lots of that kind of stuff. Lots of jargon. So I need like an actual shulker box here to be able to like fill in some of like the mycelium that I'm gathering here. Put a lot of that there and all that kind of stuff. I also, for some reason, have my like other stuff here, and spruce saplings and all kinds of things. But yeah. Get some Fantasia building in while watching. Ah, nice. I did end up watching the episode 15 after watching your premiere that happened on YouTube. So that was pretty cool. It was interesting kind of watching in backwards order, but in the end, I guess in some ways the episodes aren't too related. So, you know, it's still, I was able to catch on relatively quickly there. Yeah, I saw the comment. I've tried to get better at that. Sometimes I watch a video and it's like I kind of like am I like basically forget to end up leaving a comment, and it's like I've been meaning to be able to do that a lot more, but I just, yeah, I get caught up in stuff. Gonna do in the wall. I am curious as to what's going to be happening in the wall. I voted for the treasure room when it came to the poll. If that's what you're talking about, I think that's what you're talking about. At least for that whole entire thing, I voted the treasure room because I kind of thought, personally, that they would like the gold and all that kinds of stuff. But I guess both options kind of make sense. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine like an actual religion like that's followed by a bunch of goblins. But yeah, okay, yeah, that is what you were talking about. That's cool. That's all right. Sometimes when I follow these series, like I like half forget. Just wait till you see it. Okay. It's like sometimes I feel like I need to rewatch some of these series, like the Fantasia and the Home series, because often I forget a lot of what's going on, and I need to like catch up on like what I'm missing. I don't know. It's one of those reasons. I'm going to go do test builds, so I'll be lurking in your stream. All right. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be streaming. I was actually planning for only like 30 minutes, but I like kept on rambling for like a long time here. So yeah, I might go for like about 15 more minutes. I kind of feel like just doing a little bit more work here anyway. So let's kind of see how that turns out. And it'll be nice to just have a little bit of company during my time here. Your call. Yeah. I think I will continue. I like continuing. See you next time. Alright, later on. Oh, and next time will be tomorrow, by the way. I don't know if you've already left, but like, be lurking to help your Twitch stats a bit. Yeah, that'll be good. We'll see how the Twitch thing turns out. I mean, it's only going to be like 4 streams a month, I believe, because it's going to be like weekly Saturday. Well, my Saturday. It's going to be. I convert my times to GMT to make it easier for people. Well, I guess it kind of makes it easier for people. Maybe it makes it a little bit harder, but it's like Sunday at 3 a.m. So yeah, might be able to stop by tomorrow. Yeah, it'd be nice to have you by. We'll see if I stream on time because the film festival will maybe make me run late. I have no idea. I don't want to announce it if I run late and all that kinds of stuff. Yeah, it's like I've memorized my GMT because, well, first of all, I'm in Arizona and like I don't have daylight savings time, so it's I can memorize it all year round because GMT also doesn't have daylight savings time. But yeah, be sure to check out the Twitter so that you know if I'm late or not. Yeah, later. I like to rant. Adios. Feel like we're going to like say goodbye about 10 times during this whole entire thing. Honestly. Ah man, why do I always put my stuff in the shulker box? Like I gotta like actually have more grass blocks in my inventory so I can do this thing. There we go. Let's go ahead and drink some water with my awesome little please hold screen that's got the awesome Cloud Toast logo. Nice. Alright, and let's actually eat on camera. So I think one of the problems is that whenever I go onto that separate screen is that I can't actually see what I'm doing in game. Like I don't have a second screen that can actually like show me what I'm doing in game. So that's one of my downfalls is that like whenever I'm whatever you see in the stream, that's what I see in my gameplay. Like so whenever I'm doing my gameplay, I see like that black box in the right hand corner of the screen, which isn't too distracting, but it is something that I do have to deal with. And whenever I go to that separate screen, I'm all like, okay, I need to actually make sure that I'm in a safe place that won't make me die while I'm doing stuff in the background. So yeah, lots of that kind of stuff. Anyway, got 7 more minutes in the stream, so let's come up with another thing to talk about. Let's talk about mushrooms. Mushrooms are the cool shrooms of the mushrooms. I kind of like mushrooms. I mean, they're kind of a really weird aspect of the game, if I'm to be completely honest. Like, there are some things that are uniquely Minecraft in mushrooms. Like, when you think of Minecraft, you normally don't think of mushrooms, but they're so like that you only find them in Minecraft. Like what why were these things put into the game? For the pun? Was it only for the pun to call them like mushroom cows like basically? Like that's the only that's the only way I can imagine like someone actually putting in something as ridiculous as a mushroom is into the game. So yeah, that's This is my opinion on them. I mean, they don't really add to the game too much. I mean, they give you a sustainable source of food that allows for me to be able to have a market stall over here in the gaming district, like the yellow one, I believe. That's the one that like I'm able to sell mushroom stew in. But yeah, it's like it's a very inconvenient food source that you basically have to either just have a cow on you at all times, which is weird. I guess you can like have them be following you with a lead or something, but normally you wouldn't really do that. Um, it would just end up being that, and they're not stackable. So that's also the other point that I was trying to make there is that you would have to have like a mushroom with you all the time, because if you try and have a bunch of pieces of mushroom stew, the bowls stack, but the stews don't. Why do the stews not? Why can I stack a bunch of beef, but I can't stack like a bunch of bowls of mushroom stew? I mean, even like doors can stack, and doors are one of the most ridiculous things that probably shouldn't be able to stack, honestly. But the door stacking was a cool feature, and to build iron farms without stackable doors would be a pain, and it was a pain back in the day. But yeah, it's just there's a lot of weird quirks about Minecraft that probably need to be addressed, but they probably won't be because it's how it has always been. And although there have been some changes, like the textures changing is one thing that I kind of welcome, because the textures in the game have been very well varied. They've been very varied. The textures have like all been different, created at different times. The bottom of cactus doesn't exist at the moment. I have no idea about the new texture pack, but in the old one, like the bottom of cactus, I don't have any cactus near me, do I? That's sad. It's literally just like tan. It's like a tannish color that is like really weird, if I'm to be completely honest. But yeah, that's just how that is. There's a lot of weird quirks about that. I don't think that the brick texture ever got fixed. I mean, it's like it's not perfect. I've never noticed really the imperfection of the brick texture, but I've been told that there's an imperfection in the brick texture in the game that makes it not line up with the other sides of the block. But yeah, that's just another one of those things. Hopefully, the new changes with like was it Jasper who's working on that, or was it Jappa? I don't know. I don't know what the name of the guy was, but the guy who was like hired as a graphic designer to be able to basically fix Minecraft textures, I think that should be a positive thing in the game. Some people are considering it to be a bad thing, like that they were basically like changing a bunch of things without like the acknowledgement of the community, which I can understand the argument, but I can also understand the perspective that if it doesn't change, it will forever be a weird thing that people new to the game will be all like, what the, why in the world is this like this, and how has it like not been fixed after all this time? So yeah, there's a lot of weird arguments when it comes down to that. So yeah, I'm pretty good at ranting. I feel like my rants have actually become a little bit more centered now that I'm not like having to also keep looking at chat and trying to interact with it. Like nope, just lost my train of thought. I'm wrong. Apparently that's not the case. Where in the world was my shulker box that had my my grass and all? It's still over there. Why in the world am I always like moving from island to island, and I literally just like move it to the complete opposite direction of where I need it to be? I don't know, but it's just how it is. So yeah, have my miscellaneous chest here that has a bunch of dirt in it and all that kinds of stuff. And yeah, let's grab some. Let's also make sure I put some of the mycelium into this chest so that I don't have to worry about that so much anymore. I mean, in some ways I probably should just put like all my random stuff in here too, so that I don't have like a bunch of random items in my inventory. Should have done that a long time ago, but I never did, because I don't know, I'm weird. So there we go. Now I can just grab a bunch of dirt, grab a bunch of grass. In fact, I can really just grab everything out of this chest and be able to pick it up again, have it here, and be able to continue my nice little journey. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy having an audience to chat with because it makes it so that I always have something to say, but I got to improve on my ability to stay on one topic. If I if I am trying to like go into a train of thought, I'm like looking at the chat at the same time, there's like a guaranteed chance that I will not be able to focus. And that's not like the fault of any of the people in chat. That's the fault of me. And hopefully through my streaming every Saturday, I should improve. I mean, should. Should is the key word here. So hopefully through that, I will be able to do all that kinds of stuff and be able to create some awesome allies all around content. Let's go around here just so that I'm able to replace this with grass, and it'll end up not turning into mycelium while I look the other way. This is normally like the method by which I do this. Of course, I could like do other tricks like pouring water and all that kinds of stuff. Or what was the other thing? There was like a trick in which like I would just be able to replace a giant area or something. Like, I don't know, I feel like it was just a water trick. I'm almost certain it was just a water trick. But yeah, the problem with the water trick is that I have to do it in flat areas, like the areas around like the borders and stuff right here. It would be really hard to do because water always wants to flow quickly towards the nearest ledge. And whenever it's closest to the nearest ledge, it won't actually cover up very much space. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like to do it manually. It just allows for me to know exactly what I'm going to be doing. Ooh, Klautos actually was listening. I didn't realize that. I don't think you need to worry about talking the whole time, so if no one's chatting, just screw into your own thing. First 30 minutes of my stream is dead silent, yeah. I don't know. It's like I enjoy talking. The thing is, as much as I could end up like not, as much as I could just go ahead and be silent and be all like, hey, you know what, I'm just like if no one's in the chat, I'm take the I'm treating it as though that's being lazy. I'm like doing an analogy of like taking it the easy way out, but in reality it is like a viable like strategy to save your voice and be able to like save things to talk about for later. But at the same time, it's like I kind of enjoy talking. I'm just like, I think that my like method of creating videos, I just feel as though it serves my channel best to have that like forever going. And yeah, Klautos is saying that, well, you guys can see the chat right now, but like says that it's like it's a good practice for videos. Yeah, I can understand that too. It's like it's not only a good practice for videos, but also a good practice if I'm trying to do like streams in which there are lots of people around, and if I am quiet a lot, then I'm not going to like train myself up to be able to handle a chat room that has like even just 10 people chatting at the same time. Like even 10 people, I'll need to be able to like step up my game and be able to make sure that I'm like having a engaging experience that everyone's enjoying, and not wanting to go ahead and see what other people are doing instead. Anyway, water time. I've been talking. Disconnected from the server. Oh man, my internet is, well, I don't know if it's bad, but I was about to like change for water. But anyway, I guess this is a good time to change for water because I know I'm not going to die on the server. I should mute the mic. Unable to connect to Realms. Am I disconnected from Xbox Live? Nope, it actually reconnected. Okay, that's good. Um, I am still streaming, right? Yeah, I am. Okay, it's just there's a big like latency lag between the Twitch feed and me actually streaming it on my own. So yeah, let's well, oh, I said I was going to only continue for an extra 15 minutes, and it's been 20. Let's do another 10. Let's do another 10 minutes. I don't know. I get addicted to like being able to actually like record this kind of stuff. Maybe it's because I like an excuse to talk to myself. I talk to myself probably way too much, but it's just very soothing. It's relaxing for me to be able to talk to myself. It's normally how I'm able to like de-escalate any kind of like stress that I'm having at that moment, which I guess is another reason why I'm like also talking a lot in the stream, and that's kind of how I'm going about it. I mean, we had this whole entire conversation of why I'm doing it as well, but that's, I guess, an extension to what I was talking about before, in that like that's just kind of who I am as a person. Um, I'm trying to make sure that the mycelium really doesn't creep in. I mean, every time the mycelium grows, it ends up being bad. Oh yeah, and you also may be wondering why I'm keeping all this mycelium. I'm planning on doing a mushroom shop eventually in the shopping district. I have no idea how much it'll sell, but I just feel like it'd be fun to like create a mycelium island that will like have mushroom um like moss. I mean, the actual term is mycelium, but I mean, it's not just the mycelium blocks. It's like actual realistic mycelium in which the roots of the mushrooms are like going through the island, and it looks all overgrown and stuff, like a giant fungus has infected the place. I feel like it'd be a cool concept, but I'm also afraid that I'm going to not build it quite right. I'm Whenever it comes to those like project ideas, I'm all like, oh, I have this idea, but I need to build in a testing world beforehand because otherwise I'm not going to be able to actually like do this well. That's how a lot of things work. I mean, a lot of my most successful builds like are all in like testing worlds. I mean, I was able to be really successful in my ghost ships ride. I really love that project. Vaguely based off of Pirates of the Caribbean. It was just like an idea to have like an underwater dark ride, or not underwater, underground. An underwater dark ride would be pretty cool though. An underground dark ride in which you just kind of go about. You don't have to move the boat, which is awesome. I really wish. I'm half convinced that I should like convince the other castaways to like create a ticking zone inside of the ghost pirate or inside the ghost ships ride, just so that it is able to continue running. But I'm also half convinced that that would be like a terrible use of the server's resources, even though I don't know. It's like a double-edged sword. There's like the idea that it'll like use up the server's resources, and then there's the idea that, oh, but it'd be so cool if you never actually had to place down the bow. If you could just wait for like 10 seconds for your ride. You just hop into the boat, hop out. It just like goes in an automatic loop that anyone can join the ride in. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if that'll happen anytime soon, but that's just something that was like plaguing my mind for a long time there. That's like I'm half happy with how the ride turned out, but I'm also half a little bit disappointed that my one mechanism to make it actually like keep looping and allow you to not have to place down any boats just didn't end up working on the realms. Anyway, lots of grass and stuff. I'm really excited for the future of the gaming district too. One of the reasons I ended up taking up the project of the gaming district was so that I would be able to, well, first of all, build my own projects, but allow for other people to really be inspired to build their own things. I'm really excited to see what Conniption Fit has come up with. He has only said that he has an idea. He hasn't actually said his idea, but I'm very curious as to what it is, and hopefully it'll be a fun little mini game or ride or whatever to be able to play. So yeah, is my interesting. I mean, it's not like it affects me that much, but I just only realized now that like my ad block is on and it like has been blocking like 13 ads on Twitch. So I guess ads have been playing on my videos, but I wouldn't have been earning revenue from them anyway. So it's yeah. I don't know. Maybe I should disable ad block on Twitch when I'm actually watching other people's streams, though. I just never really considered it, but previously. Actually, I'll do that now, just so I don't forget. um, Block ads on Twitch TV. Nope, don't do that. There we go. That is all fixed. I think it's really weird that passive mobs spawn in the mushroom biome. Like, I know that's a weird thing to say, but it's something that like I've been thinking of ever since like I saw the first chicken spawn, is the fact that on PC Minecraft, no matter what block it is, even if there's grass there, only only mushrooms are able to spawn inside of a mushroom biome. And like when I saw other passive mobs spawn, I was like, huh, I guess this must be a Bedrock Edition exclusive, because I know for a fact that this does not happen on the Java edition of the game. That for some reason, passive mobs can spawn on grass inside mushroom biomes despite the fact that they shouldn't. Or maybe it's a glitch that they aren't able to spawn on grass in the Java edition of the game. I don't know. It's something that I really don't know about the whole thing. So anyway, I'm probably going to finish up this little patch of grass, and I'm going to try and head off to bed. I know I have a lot of adrenaline running. I know I'm very excited to like continue on this project. I'm really excited to go to a film festival tomorrow and see all of the kinds of like different inspirations there. It's also an international film festival, so I'm also going to be seeing like I think a film in French with English subtitles, which is going to be a really interesting experience. The other two films are actually in English, but that one's one that's going to be a unique experience. So yeah, I'm going to probably talk about that a lot in the next stream. We'll see how that all turns out. And almost done with the grass patch here. Just a few more blocks. And I think that the mycelium will not spread there, so that should be fine. So anyway, I would promise that the stream would go on forever, but that would be a lie. consider following the channel to catch my streams. Also subscribe on YouTube. I should probably leave a link to that in my Twitch description. I will do that very shortly. And yeah, until next time, this has been Frontline, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.